Previously on the Valley Buzzsaw Garage Makeover series.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's episode 11 in our Garage Makeover series. Today, we're finally painting our garage ceiling and getting the sink reinstalled. Woohoo! Subscribe below if you like DIY home improvement, DIY projects, and cleaning motivation videos. I post on Fridays and some Sundays and would love to have you join our fun time party. Don't forget to do all the stuff to get notifications of all my videos. As you can see, I had to get slightly creative with rolling the wall over at the water filter. I'm not concerned about brushing the corners or at the edge where the wall meets the ceiling. Those will all get covered by the sprayer later. And luckily, this is flat white paint, which hides basically everything. And I moved on to complete rolling out the walls. This took me over an hour to get the first coat finished. And I didn't say much, mostly just a lot of yelling at the roller cage and paint tray. I have two of each, and one of them is more janky than the other. Turns out I picked both janky items, and let me tell you, that didn't make this process very fun. My weird roller cage doesn't completely seal around the roller cover at the ends, and that results in tons of flung paint all over the wall. Sadly, that means I have to roll over every area multiple times. It was pretty frustrating. And TBH, I'm just so over this job now. It's so close to the end and the reinstalled parts of this thing that I'm kind of feeling like a senior in April. But once I got to the final wall, it actually felt like I might even finish this job. At least the painting part. Or, I guess even more specifically, painting the walls. I ran the tray dry and refilled it. At that point, the cage just hated cooperating and I shifted gears. I decided to split the wall in two, so I moved from top to bottom, starting with painting the upper half. And finishing everything on the bottom half. I wish I captured my happiness at finishing this wall on camera because I knew this second coat would go a lot faster, and I wasn't wrong. The whole second coat in the garage only took about an hour to finish up. The beauty of flat white paint is it dries pretty quickly, so I finished everything the same day. With the paint done and dry, we could get the whole house filter pushed back into place. Then Matt permanently attached it to sturdy blocking so we could remove the supports. And then he strapped the pecs to the wall using metal U-clamps. This is a momentous occasion. We haven't had a slop sink for like 6 months. That's the guy who'll be installing this. The real reason it's momentous is because I can actually wash my paint tools in the slop sink in the garage like I should have been doing for the last 6 months. But don't tell my plumbing. And definitely don't tell my plumber. Which is Matt. Don't.
What aren't you telling me?
Oh, now I have to go back to the other video where you took it out so I can go remember this when the legs fell off, and now like your wicked clever solution there to keep them on.
The sink is free. Who needs legs?
Matt gave the sink a quick hose down. The thing has been sitting out on our patio for 6 months at this point, and she needed a little bit of a refresh. But then he got to work. We need the sink attached to this stud due to the placement of the drain plumbing. So he got things level and attached the stud to the wall. Then he just had to line up the sink and attach it to the stud, moving one step closer to my happiest day since October, the day I no longer have to wash my paintbrushes in the bathroom sink. Matt got the supply plumbing all squared away. After connecting the drain plumbing,
Water on. Fingers crossed.
and now the only thing left to do in this garage to get it completely prepped and ready for cabinet install and final finishes is the ceiling paint. I grabbed the paint sprayer and got started. Actually, let me rephrase that. I tried to paint the ceiling. Since I'd used the tool before, I already knew what I was doing, or I thought I knew what I was doing. When I say this Wagner Flexio 3000 is a bit touchy, I might be underselling it just a bit. Now, let me be clear. I am in no way bashing Wagner. You'll see we eventually get the thing going again, but the sensitivity factor of tightening things, airflow, pressure, even how much paint the thing holds, they're all significant factors in the growing level of frustration that I felt while trying to get this ceiling underway. I left the sprayer exactly as I'd used it the last time. The settings, I mean. And it was cleaned within an inch of its life. Plus, we strained the paint and thinned it even though we didn't have to. And that's where my DIY irritation grows. I fully feel that if I figure out the settings for how a tool works, it should do the same thing the next time when I use the same settings. Paint sprayers, however, don't seem to play by those rules, hence my frustration. Hence also why Matt tagged in on this ceiling paint.
There. Never go more than 45 degrees.
Never go more than 45 degrees?
Yes, it said it will destroy the turbine if you go more than 45.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely went a little more than 45 degrees, but mostly I was trying to go at about 45 degrees.
All right.
And I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to get a ceiling coated if you can't go at it.
At that angle.
Right. That
Which will
seems
take you a
like
lifetime, but.
basically impossible.
And I also narrowed the spray angle some for less material. Well, this needs to be tight. Since that is going sideways. Actually, I want to go this way. Okay. Fingers crossed. 45 degrees.
On day one, he ran into a few issues too. We both thought it was that the heat rose and that the dryness of the air and paint were just wreaking havoc. So he took the thing apart. Again. And I fully washed it out. Every single part.
Everywhere.
It's leaking everywhere?
Yep, out of the seal.
Terrific! That seems right.
Which means it's not ever pressurizing.
By this point, I seriously considered getting an asbestos test kit so I could see if we should just scrape the ceiling and me roll the thing. But then, a shining glimmer of hope. Paint! Paint, not splatter, not air only, but paint, came flying out of the Flexio and took its rightful place on our ceiling. Turned out the container wasn't tightened enough, so the thing couldn't get any air pressure built up. Peeps, if you ever buy a paint sprayer, I wish you the best of luck. I plan to use this thing for furniture in the future, but I will likely never use it again for a ceiling. And that did it. Matt got on a roll. Plus, he could reach the ceiling from the floor, so I had to make the difficult decision to relinquish paint duties to someone else.
Well, now that I got it dialed in, this is not that bad.
Working fine.
I mean, you can hear the air pressure of this. I think it's getting close to time to add, but I mean, it's obviously painted when you look this way, but it's not as much as it looks like coming the other way.
You're so lucky you can just stand on the dial and paint. I wish I could
It's
do
actually-
that. I'd probably be a lot less fatigued if I could just do that.
It's probably pretty close to the right distance away too, but my God, you are not kidding about
Weight. It's heavy. And that's where I'm leaving you in this episode. But don't forget to subscribe so you'll be here for the next episode in our Garage Makeover series. Because despite all our issues, this was just the learning curve. And next time, we finally paint the ceiling. All of it. You won't want to miss that. And give us a thumbs up if you enjoy home improvement videos. It's free and it really helps my channel to grow. That's it for today. Thanks so much for being here and watching. Later, peeps!